I don't know how to put this any more succinctly. At 9:37 a.m. this morning, Donald Trump committed stock manipulation fraud by announcing to the world, as only he could, that now was a tremendously good time to buy stock, knowing that by 1 o'clock, he was going to put on hold for 90 days his tariff scheme, creating $4 trillion worth of stock value return just on that announcement alone. So at 9:37 a.m., we're going to put it up on the board. He said, now is a great time to buy. And at 1 o'clock, he made it a great time to buy, putting $4 trillion worth of value into people's pockets. Now, the market was down $7 trillion originally, but those that bought off of that stock tip, that manipulation, did very, very well under Donald Trump. Follow the money. Who benefited? What oligarch, what friend of Donald Trump went short on the market, bought stock at a low value, and got an amazing return because of Donald Trump? I want to know it. You're here on Legal AF, and so do you. I'm Michael Popok. Let's dive in. About 3 days ago, Donald Trump had to have seen and did see that when there was a false rumor that there would be a 90-day pause, exactly what just happened, and the Trump administration announced that it was, quote unquote, fake news through its rapid response team, the market went up $2 trillion. Donald Trump has eyeballs. He saw that. You don't think after all of these conversations about, or all these comments about, oh, the market's just yippee, it's just bad medicine, they got to take it. You don't think he saw the $2 trillion that went up on a false rumor and said, I could probably make that double? He made it go up $4 trillion. Now, this seesawing effect, timed as it was right around the time that the U.S. Treasury notes were being sold at auction. No coincidence there. No coincidence on the 9:37 a.m. Tweet or social media post, which is a form of stock and market manipulation and fraud committed by our first felon in chief. We then had the person who's supposed to be one of the adults responsible for Donald Trump's trade policies, his tariff policies, Jamie Greer, appearing in Congress, doing their oversight work, and Representative Horsford, while the guy was testifying that he had not spoken to the president about the tariffs, about the decision to pause it. It came up on C-SPAN and other places that the tariffs this guy was supposed to be responsible for had just been paused without his input, leading Horsford to say, and this will end up in the congressional record, what the F, WTF, and this is amateur hour. Let's run that clip.
How many days, how many weeks?
I understand it's 90 days. I haven't spoken to the president since I've been
So the
in this
trade
hearing.
representative hasn't spoken to the president of the United States about a global reordering of trade.
Yes, I have.
And
I've just
yet
been in the hearing with you, sir.
But yet he announced it on a tweet? WTF? Who's in charge?
The president of the United States is in charge.
And what do you know about those details?
Well, as I mentioned,
It looks like your boss just pulled the rug out from under you and paused the tariffs, the taxes on the American people. There's no strategy. You just found out 3 seconds ago, sitting here, we saw you.
we've been discussing a
If
variety
you
of these
came
actions
here
for-
knowing that you were going to be turned off, that these tariffs were going to be turned off, why didn't you include that in your opening statement? Why didn't you reference that as part of your testimony?
Well, I don't disclose my conversations with the president, sir.
These were specific questions we asked you all along. What's the strategy? These are real consequences for the American people and small businesses. I had a group of small businesses in my office earlier today talking about the impacts of these tariffs on aluminum and steel. This is amateur hour, and it needs to stop. What does this even mean for your negotiating strategy? How are you in charge of negotiation if the president is tweeting about this from wherever the hell he is?
This is amateur hour. You got Donald Trump manipulating the stock market in the morning. You got them realizing that they had to apply the emergency brakes because their failed scheme of tarification wasn't working, and the world market responded. And now he's just made it about China. So the announcement, just to be clear, is 90 days of a holding pattern, a freeze, only for those countries who didn't turn around and retaliate in the last 3 days against Donald Trump and America. China, sit down. that doesn't include you. In fact, we're going up to 125% on your tariffs. Now, Donald Trump's trying to work to get the tariffs frozen, to get to zero with Europe, get Europe to join him in beating up China. That is their goal. And again, one other thing I've said in a prior hot take, this is a phony trade deficit. There is no real trade deficit with China. When you add in goods and services, the services component, we outmatch China 4-1. There are no real major Chinese banks, HSBC, but no real major Chinese law firms in America, Chinese accounting firms, Chinese consulting firms. That's our export. That's our exports. And my point is, when you add goods and services together, not just durable goods you can hold on to, but services, which we outmatch by $237 billion every year, China, we are at net zero with China. Right? So Donald Trump wrecked the economy. And sure, we roared back and collected $4 trillion off of his announcement, but we're still down $3 trillion. Check your 401ks, check whatever you have in terms of your stock, and you'll see what's happening here. Donald Trump was running around with all of his people saying, we're not going to negotiate. We're not doing this to negotiate. We're not negotiating. 90-day pause. And where do we think he got it from? Talk about fraud, life imitating false rumors. It's the false rumor from 3 days ago. He said, 90-day freeze. That's a good idea. Let's see what we can do on the market. And knowing he was going to announce it, he posted that tweet. How do we feel about that social media post? You got all the people, all the lackeys around Donald Trump, like his bootlicker, Howard Lutnick, his commerce secretary. Like, I was next to the president when he wrote this social media post about our economic policy. How about don't do social media posts about economic policy? How about take things seriously? How about drill down? How about a thought process? How about executive function in your executive branch? How about that? How about stop effing with my money? How about stop the amateur hour? They're not embarrassed, of course, that their trade representative, Jamie Greer, was getting grilled by Congress and wasn't even told they were going to make the announcement. Or if he was told, he lied to Congress. That's why now in the congressional record, I love it for all times, for posterity, is WTF, Trump administration, tarification. Now, what's going to happen? China, they think they're going to get China to come to the table. What are they following? The guy, Mr. Nice Guy on Shark Tank, who said, smash their head into the wall. Keep going. Tariff them out of existence. That's not going to happen with China. By the way, we need tariffs markets. What Donald Trump didn't want to tell you is he's proposing billions of dollars of farm aid to American farmers out of taxpayer dollars because they're getting crushed by the tariffs because they send a lot of agriculture, chicken and other things, and corn and rice and all to China. What can you make of this other than an eye roll and a sigh? The markets are back on the roller coaster we said they were going to be on, that they got off of during the Biden administration. Biden administration, just solid returns, month after month, quarter after quarter, solid earnings, job growth, low inflation, trending down, stock market up. GDP, gross domestic product, manufacturing up, service export up, chip manufacturing up, right? Getting people high-speed internet are all around the country in order to improve their chances of the economy up, oil production up. Now what do we have? Amateur hour. So he bought himself some time, like he did with Canada and Mexico. If this erratic behavior and the use of social media to commit stock fraud today, which is what it was, his 9:37 a.m. announcement, is not grounds for those around his cabinet to do their job and remove him under the 25th Amendment because he appears to be criminally insane. He appears to be beyond erratic. Take a look at his hair. His hair alone is a crazy man's hair. Looks like a homeless person. Worse. During, no insult to homeless people. They can't help it. He can. During the Republican dinner, he looked like, seriously, he looked insane. And the fact that no one in his administration, apparently, other than one or two people, know what they're doing. This also proves that Elon Musk is still in charge. They're not showing him the door. I thought it was odd that a day or so ago, Elon Musk called Peter Navarro, who's the trade representative hawk that's been pushing these tariffs, a moron, a certifiable moron, and dumb as a bag of hammers. I was like, well, things are over in the Garden of Eden. The snake is out. But now I just think it's Musk who hates tariffs, wasn't in favor of tariffs, ultimately prevailing. But this erratic behavior is not good for the economy. It's not good for our heart condition. It's not good for Wall Street. It's not good for the oil industry, which is now in the tank, banking, financial services, you name it. All the industries that supported Donald Trump are up in arms and are attacking him. And he thinks he's going to social media post his way out of it. He's not. He's done permanent damage that'll have to be fixed by the next administration to our economy, to how our trading partners see us, because we're no longer reliable, and that matters. As major people on Wall Street have said, the economy and the business community is a confidence game, and they don't have confidence in this administration. And now you see why. I'll continue to follow stock fraud manipulation in broad daylight by our president. One place so that I know where to do it. Legal AF, and on the Legal AF YouTube channel. Follow me, Michael Popok, and I will bring it to you straight. I won't blow sunshine. I won't blow smoke. And I think that's why you're here. And do me a personal favor. Hit the subscribe button. It really does help as we continue to grow this pro-democracy channel. Until my next reporting, I'm Michael Popok. In collaboration with the Midas Touch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories, the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.